Matching hundreds. Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is Madden NFL Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL leads us to a snow-covered Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And the offense, my goodness, over 50 points in the win last weekend. When you do that, you're not going to lose very many.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. As we get a look at a guy who grew up in Florida, played his college ball, of course, in Louisville. It's the electric Lamar Jackson.
Brandon, I don't know about you, but when I heard he threw 5 touchdown passes last week, I thought, well, he's going to be the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I didn't need to hear any other stats, and it turned out to be right.
That's exactly right. It seemed like every time we turned around, he was throwing one in the end zone. But he doubled down. He said, I see 5 more in this game. Challenge accepted.
Challenge.
The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
From the gun on third down, Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. And now an introduction here to the starting 11 on offense.
Let's take a look at Willie Snead, wide receiver, undrafted coming into the league. He's the quintessential coach's son, knows how to play the game so well, and plays it with joy.
On 2nd and 15 now, Jackson. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 28.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. Now the starting lineup here defensively for Pittsburgh. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from 5 yards out. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Final week of the year, an absolute must-win game for them, so they needed to get on the board first. They were able to do just that.
And you laid out the stakes. So just think what they've been working with this entire build-up towards this game. Must win. Got to get on the board first. They accomplished that. Now they can't have any type of a letdown. Long way to go in this one.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tim Williams able to record his 5th sack of the season. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go,
there is a hush indeed. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture. in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On third down, Gill breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Snead as they run the jet sweep. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd down now, it's Vaughn, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Let's go, baby.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know how we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone? Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
They'll look to throw here.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
No gain at all on the play there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. They were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
On first down, Vaughn. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5. On 2nd down, it's Vaughn. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line.
Let's go, fellas.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Jackson to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. This is brought in at the 21. Pushing his way inside the 40. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. That catch, by the way, number 505 of his career. That ties him with a couple of other tight ends for the past, Frank Wycheck and Dallas Clark.
And those guys are excellent players, but how about what we're seeing right now? 505 and rising. What a nice career he's put together.
On 2nd down, it's Snell. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. From just shy of midfield, Jackson, and his throw here's incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 38-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Vaughn, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. On 2nd and 7, Jackson. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
Here we go, D.
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Matt Judon in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll look to throw. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football, and we just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. James Conner and the Steelers ready to get their next drive going. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. Oh, he's got a little daylight. There he goes left side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first, or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
We we gonna shut y'all.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw, and nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down. On the draw, Connor. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. And the Steelers on 3rd down. Not good, 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. He'll drop to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one. Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Going for the deep ball, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Trying to lay one up deep. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the 2nd quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion. Anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To Connor on the check down. And they'll bring him down right around the 13.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Brandon, there have been some memorable snow games for championships in the NFL. 1948. Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals.
Well, the most famous one in my lifetime, I think, is got to be 0-1, right? Raiders, Patriots, to send the Patriots to the Super Bowl.
You had to go to the tuck roll, didn't you?
Yeah,
I think that's one people remember. I also know this. In Miami, the infamous one, the snowplow game. In New England, when they went out there and the Patriots had a guy come out and clear a spot on the field for their field goal kicker to kick the game winner.
Was that 82?
That was 82. And the Dolphins fans will never forget it.
Well, we're not seeing one of those famous games here, but it's fun to be in the snow nonetheless. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Here's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
That'll be taken in the end zone. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now this pass to Vance McDonald complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Here's a 2nd and 7. He'll get that one complete to Connor. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They'll set up a throw, and he finds McDonald. And for the moment, this will be a first down. But we have a marker on the field. Let's see if this stands. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jackson. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. Now they try to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he goes out right around the 39.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome into our EA Sports Halftime Report. A busy final day of the regular season, so let's get to it. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. His guys have the lead as the white stuff continues to fall. And for the call of the second half, we give it back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Back him up.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now a draw play. This is Connor. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So coming up empty here to start the third quarter. Already 2 scores down. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I did notice, though, that the captain of the defense patted the quarterback on the helmet on his way out, pretty much letting him know, we know the pressure's on us. We're going to go out there and try and hold serve for you while you figure it out over here on the sidelines.
It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Jackson. On the crossing route, complete. It's Andrews. That one goes for 30 yards. Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big, big gain.
On 1st down, Vaughn. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Vaughn. And he'll get this pretty close to a 1st down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 23. On 3rd down, it's Gill. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
We want this. Check three.
They'll run on first down. It's Vaughn. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. They'll keep it on the ground. Vaughn. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
I can't believe we let you play.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal.
Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
To throw is Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Defense may be thinking pass. They come out in the nickel on 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season as the Ravens push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what, with his first 5 minutes first.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
To throw again is Jackson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jonathan Allen, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Elsewhere, a 3rd quarter score from NRG Stadium in Houston. It's the Texans firmly in control of that one. They've scored again. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Jackson now off the bootleg. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down.
And that's blocked. The Steelers get it. And they are going to take possession of the football. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Now back to throw. Going for it all. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Here we go. Under 10, under 10, 10.
Jackson on first down. Snead's got it. A gain of 6 there on first.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. On 3rd and 1, Jackson. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Jackson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Buying time, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Throwing is Jackson. His throw incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Play action. It's Jackson. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Lane. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
So it's 3rd and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they're bringing an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in. Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. Again, it's Connor. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On 2nd down now, it's Vaughn. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Check 43.
They'll keep it on the ground. Vaughn. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Now a first carry for their fullback. Josh Jones in on the stop. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense, and they've done that.
And a loose football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the fourth quarter, going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
On first down, it's Vaughn. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They go play action with Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's how we do it, baby.
Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. 2nd and 1. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
That's complete to his running back, Connor. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. 2nd and 5.
Did your high school have that saying, push them back cheer?
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
They cannot hold us down.
And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, Looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the rest?
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Conner hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to pull a bit closer.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
So a big play now as the Steelers will go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And they're going to get the 2. It's caught. So they get the conversion, and now we're back to a 1-score game. And that almost makes it a brand-new ball game. Now it's a 1-score affair after they get the 2.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the 2-point play because they had to have it to get it within the range that you just talked about. Dialed up their 2-point play. It worked. Now they're feeling like they've got a shot at this one.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. 1-score game here. Got to be careful. And
this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
This pass complete. Jackson finding Andrews. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They find some open field here. He's at the 30, 20. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Late game, that hurts. Take the touchdown off the board.
No doubt about it, and this is where you make a great movie scene, right? Go in, rally the team. Okay, we lost points there. Let's get it back and go out and score again. Can he get it done?
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. They'll keep it on the ground. Gill, and he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Vaughn.
It's run, fellas, it's run.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. From the 45 on 2nd down, Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. Orlando Brown guilty of the infraction there. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They run the counter. Vaughn. And he's got it across midfield and down to about the 47-yard line. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he's got this down to the 35. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Vaughn. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. First down, Baltimore. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
4 down.
Makes it 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun.
Run. I got him.
Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. So offensively on this drive, 2 of 2 on third downs, and now they face a 3rd and inches. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
Justin Tucker on for the field goal. A 28-yard attempt.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will bump the lead up to 11. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game, his 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Now a play fake here on first down. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. And what everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get 1 step. If you're within 1 step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that, looks like an extra step was involved.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
Here we go.
On first down, it's Vaughn. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Vaughn. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
You got 4. You got 4.
And they will take a knee here. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
They will take the knee here, and they will finish this regular season with a victory. Here's Sam Cook now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Ravens, the win means they'll finish in double digits at 10-6. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping.